What's going on, y'all? Young living every day, giving it to you and cutting straight. But listen, man, today, man, it's a video about the female feminist. She a journalist on ESPN, Malika Andrews. And you can clearly see her bias with men and her deep rooted hate for guys and how she's always trying to pull up dirt on men. We're gonna jump into it, and I'm gonna elaborate on that afterwards. But here's the first piece, what I'm saying, of what she got to say about the situation that happened with the Boston head coach.
Zach, that you touched on was just this gross focus on identifying unnecessarily women's names that may or may not be involved. And
you see her, you see the look on her face, how she gets so triggered when it comes to women. But let's continue, y'all. This is a hardcore feminist right here.
I think it is it isn't too harsh to say that that was a failure by many people, including folks within our own industry. And Brad Stevens actually addressed that today. I want everyone to take a listen.
We have a lot of talented women in our organization, and I thought yesterday was really hard on them. And I think that, nobody can control Twitter speculation and rampant, but I do think that we as an organization have a responsibility to make sure we're there to support them now, because a lot of people were dragged unfairly into that.
I want to bring in our NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins into this conversation because
pay close attention, y'all. Now, when she bring on Kendrick Perkins, for you guys that don't know, he played in the NBA for a very long time, and he also played for the Boston Celtics for a while. So this is a guy who's a former basketball player who's very experienced. Now pay close attention when they both start speaking, and he try to hold both parties accountable. With the head coach, as far as the head coach getting in trouble, the Boston Celtics, and the woman that he was engaging in that encounter with. Pay close attention. But let's continue, y'all.
You played for the Celtics organization. What were your thoughts on this message here?
Well, one, to me, I didn't like Brad comments on this, and let me explain why. Not the fact that he was taking up and protecting the women in the organization, but he said about the speculations and the Twitter BS and things to that nature, and how unfair it was to the women in the organization that is not involved with this particular situation. And I get that, right? But why is it speculations? It's speculations because of the reports that were put out by the actual Boston Celtics. So they didn't do a great job from the jump of actually protecting the women in their organization, because knowing that they were going to sit up here and give out this information and go out here and suspend Ime Udoka and talk about, just give a little details, is going to have people speculating.
Facts. He's speaking facts right now, but let's continue, y'all.
And in my eyes, I feel like the Boston Celtics dropped the ball not only in protecting their entire franchise, but in protecting the women as well. They should have made sure that they crossed their T's and dotted their I's before they put this information out. And I get it. Now we're to this point, and now he had to go on here and he had to say this and he had to say that to protect those innocent women. But at the end of the day, man, it just ain't right how they went about it. The word accountability, okay? Accountability doesn't just go to Ime Udoka, okay? Accountability goes to the other people that played a part in that as well.
Facts. Now, when he said other people that play a part in that, y'all, he's talking about women. Men got to be very careful in this society now how they talk in the States, because if you say anything about a woman, it's automatically met with backlash. That's why he said other party. He had to word it that way because of the society we live in. But he's saying the woman need to be held just as accountable as that head coach is, because she participated in the encounter that they had together. But let's continue, man. He's speaking facts. Facts.
Let me tell you another thing I didn't like about my good friend Wick Grossbeck and Brad Stevens in this press conference when they asked, is anybody else going to be punished? And they said no. And my whole thing is this, right? these are some of the facts that have been out. These are some facts that I know that, you know, this relationship, one of these relationships that was had with Ime Udoka and one of these women, it was consensual, meaning that this woman actually played a part in it too. So my thing is, yes, Ime Udoka was wrong. We get that. His punishment, he deserved that, and whatever else follows, I hate it for him, but he put himself in this position.
Look how triggered she is, y'all. Now watch this. Pay close attention. Look at the girl. Look at the second girl from the left, right? Look at the second girl from the left with the ponytail. Now look how triggered she is. This is a hardcore feminist. Anything that holds a woman accountable for is met with shame. Watch her, y'all. This is why she don't need to be on ESPN. Pay very close attention. Now he just held the head coach accountable, right? We all can agree that the head coach was wrong for what he did, but that woman participated as well. So she should get suspended as well. But let's listen. Look how triggered she is. Watch this, y'all. Pay attention.
But why are the other people getting left off the hook?
Well,
that's the problem that I have.
See how now? Listen, notice the whole time he was talking, she had nothing to say about him holding the guy accountable. But soon as he starts saying something about the other party, now she want to cut him off while he talking. See what I'm saying? This is a hardcore feminist, y'all. Men aren't allowed to have standards in the state. This is why I tell you, man, to get your passport. This society is emasculating the guy. You almost don't have no rights now. Come on, listen. We're gonna continue. Pay attention.
Right now, everybody got to be held accountable.
I think that we need to circle back to what Shanae said, is that there was an investigation that was conducted by an independent law firm here. And I think that transparency is what will rule the day here. And so without having all of the information, it is unfair and irresponsible of us to go and to speculate on that, because what we have to...
Well, I'm not speculating.
Sure.
I have the information. I'm not speculating.
See, he letting her know, I'm not speculating. I know that both parties were involved. Facts. Come on, man. She triggered. Let's go.
But what we have to go with here is the fact that an independent law firm came in, did this investigation, and the facts that they were presented, they came to the conclusion that Ime Udoka violated a policy that warranted a 1-year suspension. And I share your frustration with the lack of transparency while understanding.
You don't share his frustration. All you care about is protecting the females. You biased ass. Man, let's continue. She biased, man. You don't have no empathy towards the guy. You have a deep-rooted hate for men, and all you want to do is shame men every chance you get. And you use this platform to do it, man. This woman got a rotten heart and soul. Let's continue.
That there is some things that they need to, from a legal perspective, keep private. But knowing all of that, understanding all of that, we have to come to a conclusion that whatever rule, the conduct that was broken on one side, it is not the same on the other side. I thank you for your perspective.
That's cap. Now see how she just tried to cut him off? Don't want to give him another chance to respond. That rule is only broken on one side of the factor. So the other girl didn't break rules, but the head coach broke rules, though. You see how her goal is to protect women? So tarnish the man image, right? But protect all the women, even though they made the same decision that the head coach made, right? That's like saying a woman and a man go in the bank. She decided to hold the customers hostage with a gun, and he's taking all the money. But then when they both get caught, he only supposed to go to jail, not the female? Man, get out of here, man. Delusional. This is why y'all got to get y'all passport, man. And they letting these feminists on ESPN now. Look, this is what the Western society's coming to. Let's continue.
First, she calls out Stephen A.
Now listen, notice notice that she don't even give him a chance to respond. She say what she want to say, and then she kicks him off. Absolute delusion, man. Now, y'all, look, like I said, we gonna play these clips with this female because I want y'all to see this stuff right there, clear sight. The next clip is gonna be her again, finding a way to try to emasculate the man and say anything bad about a guy. You notice in these things, she never had anything good to say about these dudes. All she want to do is find something bad to say about men. And then you put all the pieces together, it's black dudes. Now, we about to pull up Jason Tatum. Now, watch what she says about Jason Tatum. Just pay close attention, y'all.
I don't think that I think that it's like very, very rare air. And so there's a whole bunch of players that are knocking on the door of superstardom. But to me, you have to check off the box of not only your play, which I think, by the way, Jason, that's where it comes from. That's when you started to get this sentiment. It's because you are playing, sir, like a superstar. So hats off to you. But it's butts and seats. It's casual fan.
See how she can't just say that he's great at what he do. He's playing like a superstar. Who plays like a superstar but they aren't? How can you play basketball like a superstar but you're not a superstar? Come on, listen. We talking about Jason Tatum now, right? That's the franchise player in Boston. Come on, man. The man been in the league since what? 2017? The man been in the league for 5 seasons. And every year he has improved himself, right? Three All-Star selections out of his 5 years in the league, averaging over 20 points a game, right? This year, 26.9 points. I mean, my bad, last season, 26.9 points. Come on, man, 8 rebounds and 4 assists. The year before that, 26.4 points, 7.4 rebounds, 4.3 assists. The year before that, 23.4 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. So if you notice, every year his numbers has increased. He's been selected to the All-Star game 3 out of the 5 years he's been in the league. And he's the franchise player now. Help take them what? Very close. But he's not a superstar, but he's playing like one. You see what I'm saying? This is any shame for a feminist woman to find some bad to say. This woman is a hardcore feminist and she have a deep-rooted hate for men. She find any way she can to bash men every chance she gets. She gets a high off of trying to emasculate the man. Bro, man, this girl, I don't know who hired her to be on this panel, to be on ESPN, man. They need to get rid of her. She is a horrible, horrible example, man. Absolutely. Don't speak in a fact-based reality. Everything she says is based upon the way she feel about somebody. Just pay close attention, y'all.
Appreciation. I think all of that goes into superstar, which for me is why it's like Steph, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Nikola Jokic knocking on that door potential. And then to me, it's like
Embiid's not a superstar.
Embiid's a superstar.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what do you think of this? What do you think of this Jason Tatum superstardom talk?
I agree with your phrasing and that he is knocking on the door, and a lot of times
Nah, he ain't knocking on the door. He there. What you talking about, man?
Stardom is won in moments. And so if you're able to bring the Celtics to an NBA Finals and win a championship, then people will probably say he has arrived and you are a superstar. And by the way, Jason Tatum, JT, like this is a great compliment.
Yes.
Your play has dictated you being in the same conversation as superstars because we look to you as that next generation star by how.
So you trying to say he's not a star now? You got to win the championship to be a superstar? So Karl Malone wasn't no superstar, right? Come on, man. Allen Iverson wasn't no superstar. Tracy McGrady wasn't no superstar before the injuries happened. He started declining. Come on, man. What are you talking about? So you got to have a ring? Because, oh, come on, Robert Horry got a ring. But Robert Horry ain't better than no Jason Tatum. Not even close. You see the comment? You see what I'm saying? Let's look at these stats, man. The numbers don't lie. But let's continue, y'all, man.
What are we doing here?
Look at Richard Jefferson's face. Like, man, these girls is smoking, sniffing cocaine. They crazy. He ain't that. But let's continue, man. Watch what Richard Jefferson got to say.
Like, what's going on? Like, Jason Tatum was first team All-NBA. He's the best player on a finals team. He scored 47 points against the Milwaukee Bucks on the road.
Thank you,
man. Facts. Somebody speaking this is a guy who knows numbers. This is why you have men on these ESPN panels, right? If they're gonna be a woman, it got to be a woman that's seasoned with experience. This is why you need men on here. This is facts that this man is speaking on.
with
No
their
one is
season
arguing
on
that.
the line. I don't know what the rubric is for superstar. I need a spreadsheet
I got you.
for all your different categories. Jason Tatum's a superstar. He's not knocking on the door. Knocking.
Facts. Thank you, man. The fuck she talking about, man? Get her off the panel, y'all, man. Get this feminist man hater off the panel, bro. This is what I'm trying to tell you, man. Facts. That man is superstar, girl. What are you talking about? Get out of here.
On the door? Then they're like, oh, please let me in. Jason Tatum has the key to the door. He's a top 10 player in the NBA. He's a
He got the key to the door, man. Get her out of here, man. Facts.
superstar done. He's there in the finals, 1-1. What are we doing? What's happening here?
I'm with Zach.
Well, so here's my thing. The other thing about superstar, I'm not gonna get my.
Did you hear that, Jason Tatum? Did you hear that?
But my other thing about it is it's the longevity. It's doing it over time. And so there are people who are superstars in moments, and then there are other players who have earned the moniker. I'm thinking of a Kevin Durant, for example, of superstar, kind of no matter what he does for the rest of his career. LeBron James, because of his play up until this point. Jason Tatum could and will get there. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, it's
ain't no could get there. He is there, man. Get out of here.
the complicated. I will get you the
It's not
rubric.
that complicated.
Okay.
It's not that complicated.
I think
Richard and I
what-
rarely get to be on the same
Yeah,
page like this.
I
This is a good feeling.
What
I
was
like
actually
this.
in my notes before our ears perked up and we started talking about this was the inconsistency of Jason Tatum. I don't think, though, that superstars somehow are not allowed, or burgeoning superstars, however you want to say it, aren't allowed to have inconsistent games.
So we're talking about the Jays. By the way, I hate the nickname the Jays.
So if you want to say that they're not allowed to have inconsistent games, then why are y'all pointing out the games where they inconsistent at then? And then trying to use that as a metric to say that he's not a superstar. See what I'm saying, man? Let's continue.
For them.
Really?
And like how they haven't scored 25 together in one game, and inconsistency.
Well, they actually did it in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Whatever it is, Chanae, okay? Can we just talk about what they've faced? The Bucks are the #1 defense in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
The Heat were the #4 defense in the regular season. The Warriors were the #2 defense in the regular season. Like, scoring 25 points in a game is hard. Being consistent against those teams is hard. Like, the defense, this is like the hardest basketball gets right now. That's why fewer and fewer players can get.
She wouldn't understand that because she don't really know ball like that. She ain't played no basketball on the professional level as a guy. Man, that's what I'm trying to say, man. Listen, I don't only can take the opinion of a few female to be on the panel, and one of them be Cheryl Miller, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this girl is not qualified to even speak on this kind of stuff. She don't even speak with. She's a feminist. I can't take you serious. How you gonna go on ESPN and talk about basketball? Man, get her out of here, y'all. Continue.
On the floor.
Right.
That's why I don't think he's inconsistent. I don't think he's inconsistent. He had an off night, and to say he's inconsistent implies that the other team wasn't responsible for that.
Right.
And great players, what they typically do is they see how they were affected. Did they shoot too much from the perimeter? Did they not attack too much? Did they get in foul trouble? What was my mentality? And so we've seen every single time he's had a subpar game for him, he has shown up because he has gotten better. So I think to say that he's inconsistent, you're not really watching the game, and you're taking away credit from the teams that have actually done a good job defending him one game out of seven, out of 7 games before, 2 games here in this series. You're allowed that because just like a team can have an off night, you can figure it out and figure out how to be aggressive moving forward.
Well, and part of that is because in a 7-game series, there are so many adjustments that are made. So still to come on NBA Today, we're going to talk about those.
See what I'm saying, y'all? Now, Richard Jefferson, again, another man spoke facts, just like the other man spoke facts. You see what I'm saying? You cannot take this away from them, man. These are guys who understand basketball, got the experience, and can speak on it. You're not speaking from a fact-based reality. You're going off feelings, and you try to find every way you can to try to throw some dirt on the man's tray. Man, y'all, they need to fire her, man. And listen, y'all. I'm gonna play this next clip for y'all, and this next clip gonna show y'all exactly why they gotta fire her. Watch this. Pay very close attention to this next clip that I'm about to pull up, y'all. Just give me a second.
Shifting gears, former Michigan State star Adrian Payne was shot and killed in Orlando, Florida, early Monday.
Now listen, I want y'all to pay very close attention to this. This man, lost his life. Now, just pay close attention. I'm gonna say that.
Morning, the Orange County Sheriff's Office said, and Payne was the 15th pick by the Atlanta Hawks in 2014. played 4 seasons in the NBA with multiple teams. In 2018, he was waived by the Magic after he was named in a report by ESPN's Outside the Lines that he'd been involved in an alleged sexual assault at Michigan State in 2010. No charges were filed in that case. Prior to playing in the NBA, Payne was a member of the All Big Ten second team.
Now notice, this man just lost his life, right? What is her job? For all the viewers who don't know who he is, to speak on exactly who this man is. What does she do? Talk about his allegations, that was proven to be a false allegation of sexual assault that happened. False allegations of the SH word, that happened years prior. Do y'all not see that? This man just lost his life. Instead of talking about his contributions to the league and the things that he did to get to where he is, what does she do after a man died? Speaks on a false allegation of SH, the assault word, you know what I'm saying? Of him, having that kind of, how can I put it, man? Assault on a female. We'll just say that from an encounter standpoint. See what she just said? Throw dirt on the man's tray. Instead of just speaking on the man dying, having empathy for the guy, you go on the ESPN platform, use your feminine, biased, man-hating tactic to try to shame a man that's dead. Do y'all not see what's going on in the United States now? This is why I tell y'all to get a passport. She's on ESPN shaming a basketball player who lost his life. And what does she do? Instead of speaking on what she's supposed to speak on, she goes and look him up and tries to pull up some false allegation dirt and use a moment while this man is dead and his family is grieving to try to belittle, emasculate him, and throw dirt on his name as he's dead. This is the society we live in. These are the women that they are allowed to be on ESPN platforms. Feminist women with bias, deep-rooted hate for men. This is why I tell you, man, to get your passport. This is what we're dealing with today. I don't know what happened to her in her life, who did this to this female, but she has a rotten heart and soul. And after doing such a thing like that, I've never watched ESPN and watched somebody come for somebody that's dead like that. This woman needs to lose her job. They need to fire her, man. She don't deserve to be on the panel with ESPN. She do a horrible job anyway. You don't speak no facts. You find every way you can to find a way to emasculate and say and find any dirt on any man that you can. You find something wrong with every guy. You don't hear her say anything good about nobody, except for the greats, LeBron and KD or something like that. Other than that, she find any way that she can to wage her way and her feminist ways in the programming of the show. She got to lose her job. This looks really bad for ESPN. And this man's family, his friends, people watching this is disturbing information. You got a deep-root hate for a guy that you can't even be respectful and have sympathy that this man is dead. If she's willing to say this on air about a man who is dead, just imagine how she would treat you as a man. She tried to shame Jason Tatum. She talked down on a man who died. Don't hold women accountable, right? And this little scam with the Boston head coach and the girl that he was dealing with, saying that only one party should be accountable. So protect all of these women to go out and do the same thing that's bad, right? But then let's just out the man and shame the man. Put the man on blast, tarnish their image, right? Let's protect all her. This is her mindset. Let's protect all women and then shame all the guys. And this is the woman they got on ESPN. Brothers, get your passport, man. This lady used her bias tactics to exercise her feminism and her deep-rooted hatred for man on ESPN to discuss a young man who died in college and speak on a false allegation. What does a false allegation, something that was proven to be false, have to do with this man losing his death at this current moment? And for that reason, man, they got to get rid of her. But like I said, she got to be fired. She got to go. Y'all can go look at the comments. Everybody's speaking on it, man. She don't fit in there. But that's all I got to say about that, man. Listen, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend, man. Get everybody engaged. The more y'all give me, the more I give y'all. But like I said, y'all, get y'all passport and get the heck out of this Western society. That's all I got to say about that. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out.
Yeah, got the streets on fire, feel the heat, the Wayne way. Ain't never had no handouts, put in work, I'm self-made. Superhero strength, I got the power, Luke Cage. Flexing on them haters like Drake. This is real rap, no cap. Bust it down like